Enjoyed the show, guys. I'm getting very, very fit. As usual, I like to look fit because I really think that adds to my channel, Sugar Dumpling. Anyway, guys, I was watching a Pussycat Doll member. So she's a former Pussycat Doll member, and I'm not sure if she still is on there. She probably could go back if she wanted to. And she was talking about how she had been really abused by the situation. And she said not all entertainers or groups get abused like that, but she was saying that I'm obviously trigger warning because you can't talk about abuse without trigger warning, but so she was talking about she was being abused. She had an abortion that she was forced to do or whatever, and obviously difficult to deal with, right? Because she's 19, she didn't want to have the abortion, and she was forced because she has to look good, and so she's going on stage hemorrhaging, right? And she's got to deal with this, and like she's just performing even though she just had an abortion, right? So really awful, right? But she was just saying, that I think to this happens occasionally, and we all know that Hollywood has the greatest stars ever. They do all these crazy stunts and all these crazy things. Great dancers, great singers, great performers. Live events, awesome. They can go on and on for days and days and do really amazing things. Movie stars, amazing people, right? And you eventually hear this. You hear how someone is going through something. Like I think. The girl that played Blossom, at one point she was saying that they called her, FAT. I don't want to say it, it's rude. I'll never say this to anyone. But they called her FAT because she was gaining weight, and they said that she was having, that they didn't know where to put her in TV or whatever, and all that. So it was really kind of like something that you don't really hear every day, but it does happen, JoJo who sings "Get Out Right Now," it's the end of you, and we cover, or I don't remember sing that, JoJo sings that. But she was talking about how, they just basically said, she can't perform now, she's too old, even though she was like super young when she started. All this stuff, like she's not the sweetheart she once was, and it depends on who your producers are, and this doesn't go for all Pussycat Doll girl was saying, the ex-Pussycat Doll was saying, this doesn't go for all of them, all the entertainers. Not all entertainers get treated badly, not all entertainers get abused, but she was just saying, the situation for her was dealing with heavy abuse, which trigger warning, I don't know if I can say that, but yeah, she was dealing with all this bad treatment, I'll say bad treatment instead. So bad treatment and all this, and just forced to perform like mad and all this stuff. Now the thing that I totally get that, she's struggling, she has a hard time, and it's tough for her for sure. But the thing that I don't understand is like, well, if you are a performer and look at me, I'm super gorgeous and thin, and you don't have to be gorgeous to be a performer, but if you're a gorgeous type of performer, it makes sense to be someone that has to do hard work because you are that category, right? Like, if we saw Channing Tatum gain weight, we shouldn't judge, we shouldn't be critical, we shouldn't tell him what to do. Everyone's beautiful. Channing Tatum, as a bigger person, would be gorgeous. Everyone shouldn't feel bad about their look. But if you're playing in the Magic Mike movie, you have to look a certain way, right? It makes sense, right? So I totally get you. No one wants to be dealing with bad treatment in severe conditions or whatever, but it's like if you're let's say you're a model, right? There was one girl that was saying she was a model and she gained weight, and they basically kicked her out and said she was getting too big, right? Which is a horrible thing to say to someone. You shouldn't say that to someone. But look at the industry she's in, right? And I don't think every model that gains weight gets treated that way, and I think that plus size models are beautiful, and we should all feel good about what we look like, regardless of what weight we are, whatever we look like. But it's like the industry isn't exactly meant for someone and I'm saying the industry. I'm not saying, and my judgments are separate from the industry, but you know, like the industry is really rigid with what their standards are, right? Now they are getting more types of models, and they are having more different types of people. Like there was actually an obese model in a recent campaign that they just had, and she's like really obese, like 300 pounds or something, 250 pounds or 300 pounds, and she's big, and she's modeling in a modeling campaign, right? So they are starting, and they have like, you know, a girl, beautiful girl, gorgeous girl, Victoria's Secret, she's got Down syndrome. You know, they are branching out some more. She's dropped it gorgeous, but they are branching out some more different things, which is good. But I mean, the industry itself, it's called modeling, and it's just a really rigid industry, which doesn't say anything about, you know, like if you're someone that is in the modeling industry, then you would know this, right? Like I'm a model, you know, so I know as a guy, Marco, and I know the rigidity of it, but my agency's pretty flexible around that. Like when I was bigger, they had me start, so they aren't that kind of modeling agency where they kick you out based on it. They go by how you look and your personality. Well, I'm not personality, I'm just taking pictures, but they go by how you look. They don't really go and how you carry it. So I was bigger, but I carried it well, right? So I was 200 pounds at that time. So you know, it is something that people go through in those agencies, and it's not surprising, right? It's harsh, it's cruel, no one should deal with it. No one, and people in regular jobs won't deal with that because it's not a modeling job, right? If you're a person in a regular job, you're not going to be dealing with, you know, people saying you're too overweight for this job. You might get criticism in general, but you're not going to be told you're overweight for a job when the job doesn't require you to look a certain way, right? So that's the kind of thing that these people deal with, and it makes sense, you know. But I mean, no. And the thing is, these people are human, right? So if somebody is a model and they're gaining weight, and they get told they have to leave the industry, obviously they're human. They were thin, they were gorgeous, and they hated the fact they have to leave and be told these things because they're human. You know, we look at these, me included, we look at these famous types of people, and we say, oh, well, they can handle criticism. Look at them. They think they're so great or whatever, which I'm very, very nice. I don't judge. I'm very supportive, and I'm super sweet. But, you know, some people might be like, well, look at Melina and Marco. They're gorgeous. You know, we're just going to be mean, right? And they don't, you know, people are like, well, they're going to have everything they want, so why am I going to be nice, right? But, I mean, the thing is, we're human, right? All of us are humans. So, you know, it is something that we all, you know, don't think of when we, and the thing is, when you are someone in the actual industry, you think differently about it than you would if you weren't, you know, like she's an ex-Pussycat doll, right? So she's a big deal, right? We all know that we love the Pussycat dolls, and so for her, it's something that she struggled with, and to us, we're like, well, come on, all you have to do is look pretty, and you are pretty, you know, you can do this, right? But she was literally having a tough time with an abortion, and then performing right away, right? So at some point you think, and you know, that to me is ridiculous, but at some point you're thinking like, you know, she's a performer, she's gorgeous, the show must go on, but I think there's limitations, right? I think at that point you have to say, you know, let her just go home and take the day off, right? But, you know, with these rigid schedules and these performances and these stars and starlets, they have to be on all the time, right? Anyway, totally enjoy the show, guys. It's terrible, but anyway, thank you guys for watching.